Hello everyone, welcome back to Nid-life Crisis. Today marks the end of Orktober, and what better way to finish it than to finish off the Orks Combat Patrol box. The only model left for me to show you is the Deff Dread. I start by spraying from underneath in the shadow areas with Vallejo Dark Sea Blue. Then I start from above with Kantor Blue, the same as I've used on my other Deathskulls in previous videos. I'm using the airbrush, as you can see, starting at the bottom with the darker blue. I'm going to work up to a lighter blue. This is a really nice way to blend and sort of show the shading from bottom to top. The highest points of each panel get the lighter blue, and when it's all done I think it's blended together nicely and I'm quite happy with the result. I know not everyone has an airbrush, but I find doing bigger models like this, mine's paid for itself, as well as being able to prime in any weather. With the base colours down, I move on to metallics. Gunmetal to start with on the bigger areas of the weapons. This is generally my go-to for larger weapons and all sorts of guns. I like to highlight or have a bit of variation with other types of metallics. On the exhaust, I thought I'd try out a new metallic that I picked up recently. It's Burnt Iron Ammo by MIG. As I was using it, I noticed it's quite watery. I probably should have painted the whole lot with the gunmetal and then come over with the burnt iron as a wash. We'll definitely do that next time. I'm also going to have a coppery colour on the top of the weapons. I probably could have left these blue. Sometimes you just got to paint bravely, and obviously once it's on, it's on. In the end I wasn't too disappointed. It gives a nice contrast and a bit of variation, which is what it's all about. I've also picked up another new metallic. In this case it's a black from Vallejo Model Air. First time using this one too. My thoughts really, I should have painted everything with this and then come over with the dry brush of the lighter gunmetal, giving it a nice dark feel, a bit more grim dark. Every day's a school day, as they say. I'm certainly learning a lot making these videos. If you're liking what you see so far and you can spare a few seconds to hit the subscribe button, it'll really help the channel and move me forward. At the time of recording this, I've got 374 subscribers, which I'm very happy with after 2 months of publishing content. I'd like to try and break 500 by the end of the year, which is obviously another 2 months. So please like, share, subscribe and all that jazz, and we'll see what happens. Either way, I enjoy making the videos and I will carry on doing so. So back to the model, we've done the cable casings and starting to do the cables in red. I do normally do some light blue cables as well, but with the Deff Dread being overall blue, this time I stuck with red. I decided the shoulder pads needed a bit of detail for a bit of interest, so I decided to put some stripes on. I ummed and ahed about doing the checkerboard chessboard pattern, but all of my other models have an element of that on, so this one wanted to be a little bit different. Finally, I decided to do the teeth on the front with the blue metallic. This is one of my favourites that I've said in a previous video I like to use. It's a really nice blue and I really like the way it glimmers. Onto the lenses, starting with white behind. I was tempted to do a bit of an object source lighting and dry brush this, but I decided a white background to glaze some colours over the top. While the white paint dried, I did a bit of chipping, sponging on some grey to begin with. I went all around the model with this. The sponge gives it a bit of a random texture, which works really well for chipping. I then went back over the same areas that I'd just been over with the grey with a gunmetal colour, hoping to highlight the metal underneath with the paint chipped off. With that done, it was time to move back to the lenses, glazing over a light green, starting at the bottom and pulling up to the top so that the pigment settles more at the top, which sort of gives the element effect of the light hitting the top of the glass. The smaller lights got hit with orange for variety. Then I came in with a clean white top right corner to show the glimmering across the glass. When I finish the model, I will also put a gloss varnish on these areas to add to the shine. Speaking of varnish, the whole model got hit with a matte varnish. When that had dried, I decided to try out the rust streaking grime. Again, this is another first for me. I've tried the streaking grime generally on the boys in the last video. I started by targeting smaller areas, but then as I started doing it, I realised that I would just go all over and clean it off and be more targeted when I was cleaning. For that reason, I decided to clean it with a brush and white spirit rather than the sponge cotton swabs I did before. The cotton buds have got sponge on, so they suck up quite a lot of the streaking grime, whereas with the brush I can push it around a bit more and leave it to pool a bit more naturally like rust would on a model. This took me quite a long time, so I'll leave you to watch me do it, and we'll come back in a minute for the highlighting and the big reveal. With all that dry, I came back in with the light blue that I'd sprayed on originally earlier, focusing more on panel lining from the top on the parts of the model that would get hit by the light more. I quite often skip this step on my smaller models as I'm just aiming to get most of my army battle ready, but as this is a larger piece, I decided to take a bit of time and do a bit more highlighting. The top bits of the gunmetal also had a bit of a highlight with the light metallic. Not going too over the top. After all, you can always come back later on after you've played a few games and highlight some more. So all that's left is the big reveal. So pleased with how this turned out. Thank you so much for watching my video. As I said earlier, if you could take a minute to like, share, subscribe. It really helps the channel and shows me that it's worth me doing the videos. I've not been back doing the hobby too long, but any hints and tips I can pass on that I learnt from quickly, I'm very happy to do. If there's anything specific you want me to sort of try and go through, let me know in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next video.